9-liter containers. For orders, call 0979 414 384 or 0966 386 954 0979 414 384 or 0966 386 954. Aquacana mineral water, straight from Mother Nature.
The University of Zambia is now enrolling in the following programs: Bachelor of Adult Education, Bachelor of Community Empowerment and Education, Bachelor of Youth Development and Leadership, Bachelor of Education, Guidance and Counseling. Diploma courses on offer: Diploma in Business Administration, Computer Science and Information Management, Early Childhood Education, Finance and Accounting, Guidance and Counseling, Human Resource Management, Project Planning, Monitoring and Evaluation, Public Administration, International Relations, Purchasing and Supply Chain Management, Records Management, Sales and Marketing Management, Social Work, Teaching Methodology, 1 year, and Public Health. Program duration: 4 years for bachelor's degree programs and 3 years for diploma programs. Progression from diploma to degree programs attract exemptions at a higher level. Tuition fees for all diploma courses are 6,340 per year. Installment plans available. The University of Zambia has centers in Mansa, Samtia, Chiengi, Chifunabuli, Mwense, Kawambwa, Chembe, Chelenge, and Mwansabungwe. For more information, call 0979 967544 or 0977 361980 or come to house number 641, low density, opposite Munda in Mansa. Come and be part of the highest learning institution in the land and earn your qualification with confidence and pride. The University of Zambia, service and excellence.
They say water is life. Manzi ni moyo. Ameishi mwewe. And that's why you need to enjoy the refreshing taste of Aqua Kena, Wapula's first ever mineral water packaged with love, care, and life. So every time you feel thirsty, grab a bottle of Aqua Kena and quench that thirst today. Aqua Kena is treated under sand and carbon filtration, reversal osmosis, and ozonation. We have packages ranging from 350 mils, 600 mils, 750 mils, 1.5 liters, 500 mils pallets, and 18.9-liter containers. For orders, call 0979 414 384 or 0966 386 954, 0979 414 384 or 0966 386 954. Aquacana mineral water, straight from Mother Nature.
Be black, cigarette, start to stay like all the rest. First thing every morning I do, start listening. Some broken hearts never mend, some memories never fade, some tears will never feel. Rendezvous in the night, when woman you hold me tight, but in the middle of love's embrace, I see your face. Some broken hearts never end, some memories never end, some tears will never road and bombs never been. Some memories never been. Some tears will never dry. My love for you will never die.
Dear listeners, we'll soon be getting to the main news, which was supposed to come at 13 hours, but very soon we'll be getting to the main news, the afternoon bulletin on KFM 95.5. We are just facing a technical issue as the network has just gone. So we'll bring you the news as soon as possible.
baby. Want to see I'm in love with you. If you don't believe I do, then I go to you, child. You let your love down. I will never make you well. Oh, cherry, oh, baby. Want to see I'm in love with you. You don't believe I do. I go to you, child.
The Careful News in
Sincere apologies, dear listeners, for bringing the news late. This was due to circumstances beyond our control. Whether we now bring you the afternoon news read by Jack Mapembulo. We first take a look at the top stories. President Hakainde Hichilema has called for unity among Zambians to foster development in the country. Government has temporarily closed all the three borders to the Democratic Republic of Congo DRC on the Copper Belt. The public has been urged to freely engage with the government on issues affecting development in the country. In international news, Ukraine Zelensky acknowledges offensive in Russia. And in sports, Manchester City avenged their FA Cup final defeat by Manchester United as Pep Guardiola's side triumphed 7-6 on penalties after the Community Shield had finished level at Wembley.
The Careful News. If it matters to you, it matters to us.
And now the news in detail. President Hakainde Hichilema has called for unity among Zambians to foster development in the country. President Hichilema says traditional ceremonies such as Uksefe Pangwen are important as they help unite people. He was speaking when he paid a courtesy call on the paramount chief at Mungwi yesterday. The head of state said he believes in maintaining the country's heritage in order to sustain future generations, adding that traditional ceremonies help in doing that. And President Hichilema said he is happy with the way farmers have responded to his call of producing more maize. He said the northern province has a good rainfall pattern and that people in the region must be encouraged to grow more maize. President Hichilema encouraged the Chitimukulu to take personal leadership in working with the government to encourage farmers in the province to grow more food. And the Chitimukulu thanked the head of state for accepting to attend the ceremony. Vice President Mtalena Lumango has challenged women to take advantage of the improved political environment to participate in politics. Ms. Nalumango says the UPND government has ensured that a conducive environment prevails so that more women are included in decision-making. She says in previous years, women could not freely participate in politics due to violence, but this has changed. Ms. Nalumango said this during the UPND's Nyambulana Mayo Pull-Up Initiative third anniversary fundraising drive in Lusaka yesterday. And Kafiwe, a member of parliament, Miriam Chonya called on government to come up with deliberate measures to increase the participation of women in governance. And the Nyamulana Mayo Initiative representative Pipa Shpanda commended government for the improved political environment created to enable women in politics to thrive. Government has temporarily closed all the three borders to the Democratic Republic of Congo DRC on the about Commerce, Trade and Industry Minister Chipuka Mulenga says the development is aimed at protecting the country's property and human life owing to the protests taking place in the DRC. Mr. Mulenga says the last 10 days have seen protests in the neighboring country following the ban of imports in lime and beverages into that country. He has told ZNBC News in Kasama that the Zambian government will engage authorities in DRC on the possibility of resolving the matter. Mr. Mulenga has called for patience among drivers and the Zambian people on the traffic that may start to build up as a result of the development. He said Kasumbalesa, Mokambo, and Sakanya borders will remain closed until the matter is resolved. Government has identified 66 sites countrywide where solar power plants will be set up under public-private partnership PPP initiative. Energy Minister Makozo Chikote says the solar plants which will be set up in all the 10 provinces will help mitigate the current energy crisis. Mr. Chikote says the energy which will be produced by the solar plants will be put back into the national grid. He told ZNBC News in Solwezi, Northwestern Province, that government has so far received over 200 applications from investors wishing to put up the solar plants. Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky has acknowledged sorry about that. And still in the news, President Hakainde Hichilema says government will ensure the hardships being experienced by Zambians are addressed. President Hichilema cited the construction of roads and schools as well as hospitals as some of the projects that government is working on to improve the lives of people. And President Hichilema has called on the church to ensure it work with government to that peace and unity continue to prevail in the country. The president said this yesterday in a speech read on his behalf by Defense Minister Ambrose Rufma during the ordination of 9 priests at the Catholic Diocese of Solwezi. Area Bishop of Catholic Diocese of Solwezi, Charles Kasonde, called on the ordained priests to serve the country's community equally regardless of their social and financial status. Bishop Kasonde also called on the church and the community to support the priests as they go out into the country. Technology and Science Minister Felix Mutata has projected the telecommunication sector in Zambia to grow by 21% this year. Mr. Mutata says government has provided an enabling environment which has led to a local company joining the telecom sector, which he says is one of the fastest growing sectors in the country. He was speaking when he launched Zambia's fourth mobile phone operator, Z Mobile. Mr. Mutata said with the coming of Z Mobile, internet penetration is projected to increase from the current 64% to over 8% within 2 years. The minister said government anticipates reaching its target of 100% phone and internet coverage of the country by 2026. And Z Mobile Managing Director Tsanga Kazia said the company has so far invested $400 million in building a local brand which will satisfy Zambians. Mr. Kazia said the Z Mobile has engaged several local contractors to open sites countrywide as the company rolls out its services. Before we take a look on the international news, a recap on the top stories. President Hakainde Hichilema has called for unity among Zambians to foster development in the country. Government has temporarily closed all the 3 borders to the Democratic Republic of Congo DRC on the Copper Belt. The public has been urged to freely engage with the government on issues affecting development in the country. Coming up next is the international news on sports.
Get some news. If it matters to you, it matters to us.
Ukrainian President Vladimir Zelensky has acknowledged for the first time that his military is conducting an offensive inside Russian Western Kursk region. In his nightly televised address on Saturday, Mr. Zelensky said Ukraine's military is pushing the war onto the aggressor's territory. This comes 5 days after Ukraine began its operation, which has taken Russia by surprise and prompted mass evacuations across both sides of the border. In Ukraine, explosions were reported in the capital, Kyiv, and in the Sami region in the early hours of Sunday. And at least 21 bodies have been recovered from the site of a plane crash in the Brazilian state of Sao Paulo, which killed everyone on board. Teams have been working through the night to find victims of the disaster after a twin-engine turboprop operated by airline Veopas came down in the town of Vinhedo. The number of casualties was revised up on Saturday to 62. Veopas said earlier that the ATR 72-500 was carrying 57 passengers and 4 crew between Cascave in the southern state of Paraná to Gauros Airport in Sao Paulo City, but it later confirmed there was another unaccounted for passenger on the flight. Footage circulating on social media showed the plane descending vertically, spiraling as it falls. The aircraft crashed in a residential area, but no one on the ground was injured. In sports, Manchester City avenged their FA Cup final defeat by Manchester United as Pep Guardiola's side triumphed 7-6 on penalties after the Community Shield had finished level at Wembley. Bernardo Silva leveled for the Blues in the final minute, but then had City's first spot kick saved by Andre Onana to give United the advantage. However, Anderson saved John Sancho's effort before veteran defender John Evans fired over, allowing Manuel Akanji to secure victory in this competition for the first time since 2019 in front of 78,416. United would take encouragement from the way they performed, though, and were boosted by news of a deal agreed for Bayern Munich centre-back Matthias de Ligt shortly before kick-off. Manchester United will kick off the new Premier League season at home to Fulham on Friday night, while Manchester City will return to London to take Chelsea on Sunday next week. We now come to the end of this news bulletin, but before I run a recap on the top stories. President Hakainde Hichilema has called for unity among Zambians to foster development in the country. Government has temporarily closed all the 3 borders to the Democratic Republic of Congo DRC on the Copper Belt. The public has been urged to freely engage with the government on issues affecting development in the country. Ukraine, Zelensky acknowledges offensive in Russia, and Manchester City avenged their FA Cup final defeat by Manchester United as Pep Guardiola's side triumphed 7-6 on penalties after the Community Shield had finished level at Wembley. Ends the news at 13 hours. Once more, I want to apologize for bringing the news late. This was due to circumstances beyond our reach. Join us for the evening bulletin at 18:15. On behalf of the news team, I'm Jack Mapembolo. Keep listening to K.